to a lot of this. Whoops. So today, we're not here to check out a scooter. I do have the scooters up here though, because I want to be able to compare some of the build qualities between this and those. What we have today is a folding bike, I believe. I haven't actually opened it yet. You know, I like to open things here for you guys, and then I'll get out and test it. So this here is a 16-inch bike with a 350 watt motor. And if I had to guess, there might be a little bit of assembly involved, but let's find out. All right, so starting out, this is what you're gonna be looking at in the box. I know, can't quite see what's going on, but I thought I'd give you guys a better idea at what you're gonna see when you first open it. All right, so this is what we start with right here. I gotta say, I love the way they package this. As you guys have seen with some of the scooters in the past, getting them out of the box can be a pain. They zip tied the tires right in. You grab this one tire, lift up, she comes right out. All right, so we got a couple other things in the box. We have our charger here, 42 volts, 2 amp. Looks like we have our assembly guide here. Not a lot of screws. This might go together a little easier than I thought. And then this last package here, you have the pedals. Overall, nice quality pedal. Looks like it's got metal running all the way through the center. Plastic with grips on the side. And then we have some kind of attachment piece. I guess I'll figure out what this goes to here in a little bit. So, tire is held in with a single strap. So, checking out the tire here, you have a 16-inch tire with a pretty decent sized disc brake. Overall, pretty decent looking tread. Should be a good ride. All right, so the first step here, we're just gonna set the tire down inside, make sure it's on brake side first. And then we put this retainer in. So this unit right here is gonna be your quick release for the actual tire. We'll get a closer look up at that here in a little bit. All right, once you have the tire on, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it around, put the kickstand down. Kickstand's on this side. We'll get a close up of that as well here shortly. Unboxing to assembly took about 15 minutes, not too bad. And I gotta say, right off the bat, just looks wise, this thing looks solid. The quality on all the parts, it's there. There's no doubt in my mind this thing's gonna be a quality ride. Everything from the chain drive to the spindle, to the motor, to the brakes, really nice looking braking system. And then right here, we have the actual battery pack. Coming in close, you can see here on the left side, there is the key slot. Here is your battery with a power button. Down here on the side, you're going to have a covered charging port. This is called the S16 Mini 2. Now, if you're looking at the brakes here, these are some nice big brakes for the size of a bike. You also have the rear fenders, splash guards. You have a rear light right here, as well as an adjustable seat. Now, this seat is a quick release, allows you to go whatever size you want real quick. Coming around to the front, you can see we have the tire installed. This is where you mount your front splash guard. Here is the latching mechanism. Now, this is interesting to me because this is very similar to a lot of this. Whoops. Better to do it with two hands. But this is interesting because it has the same latching mechanism as a lot of the scooters. You can see over here, you have a catch. Then right here, you have a handle with the release. Actually, if we tried to compare, I mean, overall, the latch is very similar to a lot of the scooter functions back here. I kind of figured it would be like that. I don't really mess with too many folding bikes. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I kind of wanted to be surprised. This company reached out to me to send this over. They said, we have a folding bike. I didn't quite know what a folding bike meant. I didn't know if it folded in the middle, on the top. Now I can see it folds here, and then the seat drops down to make this a nice compact form factor. Okay, so let's talk about the price. So this is the Aovo Bogist Mini V2, 350 watt motor, 10.08 amp hour battery. I'll put the stats up here on the side in case I'm getting a couple of them slightly off. Removable battery. They say average shipping time is 4 to 8 days. Overall reviews online seem to kind of agree with that. Now I always set mine as a review model, so my experience may be slightly different. It comes with a 90-day repair warranty right out of the box and a 180-day parts warranty at no cost to you. So basically, if you're using this thing and 179 days down the road, your screen cracks or just stops working or something, get a hold of them, they're gonna take care of you. All right, so what do you get for $425? Really nice disc brakes, 16-inch tires, quite a turning radius if I do say so myself. Now, while we're down here, this right here is one of the bolts I had to put in for the front fender here, and then one on each side right here. All three of these were pre-installed, they were not in a package. Something else that comes with it, you got a couple of different keys. So what do those do? So if you come in, you turn this, battery pops out. So we can see right here, this is a 7.8 amp hour, 280 watt hour, 36 volt, 16 amp battery. Cool part to a battery like this, say you got some really long rides you want to go on, this battery is not super heavy, it's pretty compact. You could pick one up, carry it within your backpack, twice as much range. So overall, pedals, nice quality. I don't really know a ton about pedals, but they feel pretty nice to me. Frame, super thick frame, very nice welds, good joints. You have the same disc brake in the back as well as your motor. This is a 350 watt hub motor. Right here, very nice kickstand. I like the placement in the back. It feels solid. Doesn't feel like it's gonna break off on you. So right here is your seat adjuster. Super simple, pull, lock it back in wherever you want it. The seat does appear to have 2 shocks on the bottom, as well as a pretty comfy seat overall. Like it feels very cushy. All right, come close down here, look at the battery for a sec. So cool function, if you wanna check the battery, just go ahead and hold down the power button. This one right here, pretty much full. Okay, so to turn this on, we're gonna go ahead and long press the power button. So right here on the screen, you can see you have your kilometers per hour. I'm gonna see if we can set that to miles per hour. You have your odometer, then you have your charge status. Now, this does say 3 right now. There are 3 different battery modes on this. We're gonna get outside. I'm gonna get some testing done on this. I'm gonna make sure I test the headlight out because that is seeming more and more important the more scooters and bikes I review. Let's get to that, check it out. Okay, so we spent quite a bit of time with this bike now. First thing I'm gonna say, super easy to put in the vehicle. Some of my scooters wouldn't even fit in the back of that vehicle, but this going down works pretty good. You carry it by the center post. A decent amount of power for a 350 watt scooter, but still overall, it could use a little more. So the max range in this is 25 kilometers. I'll put that in miles up here. If they put a 500 watt motor on this and left the speed limit at 15, I think you get a little more. All right, so quality control, thing is solid. The only issue I ran into, my front brake is a little bit bent. So with it being bent while I'm riding, I'm getting a little bit of scraping, but not bad. But riding it, super comfortable. Hill climbing though, it struggles a little bit with a 350 watt motor. That is also gonna limit its range. I would love to see this exact scooter with a 500 watt motor and maybe a slightly bigger battery. It is just a little bit over a 7 amp hour battery, which isn't bad. You'll get about 10 miles of range, roughly. 25 kilometers is the max range, but realistically, if you're riding this on mode 3, you're not gonna get that. Size-wise though, the seat, I will say, this seat is probably the most comfortable seat I've ever ridden on in a bike, ever. Now with the scooters, they come with seats. I don't usually use them just because it's not how I want to ride a scooter. So now here's the question. Should you buy this bike? Well, it depends. What do you need a bike for? If you wanted to go camping, if you want to go hang out, if you want to just ride around and enjoy some time, if you want to commute and you live within, 8 to 10 miles of your work, yeah, this is probably the bike for you. Quality's phenomenal, price is reasonable. We're talking $400 and something, $429, plus I have a 10% discount code down below. Go check it out. It's very versatile. It doesn't matter your height. This bike is probably going to work for you. I'm 6'1", and with the seat down quite a ways, it's very comfortable. It's not quite what I expected, being such a different size from the bikes I've been used to my whole life. Okay, just taking a look at the lights at night here. So the headlight looks actually brighter in the video camera than it actually is in person. We'll talk about that in a second. Here's the brake light. This is the running light right here. If you hold the brakes down, it's pretty bright. Very nice brake light. Now the headlight, it leaves a little bit to be desired. So the field of view on the headlight it's tiny. Now, if you're riding straight down a sidewalk and not making any turns, it's going to work for you. But again, the light kind of lets you down just a little bit. Could be better. Now let's talk about some things I think they could upgrade in this price. Starting out here, the motor, 350 watts. Does it work? Yes. I weigh about 185 pounds. It got me up that hill. A little hard to see from over here, but it's a pretty steep hill. Next up, this screen. I'd love to see some more information here. One thing I noticed, I had this thing up to about 16, 17 miles an hour going down the hill. It stops at 15. So even if you're actually going over 15 miles an hour, it's not going to tell you. I'd really like to see how far you've gone on a trip. Maybe add like a trip meter, something that tells you how far you've gone since your last charge, maybe an app connectivity, stuff like that would be nice. But again, the only issue I really had on the entire thing is this front brake here. This front brake here isn't quite flat, so it rubs a little bit while moving, but I could probably get that to go away just by adjusting the tire a little bit. All right, guys, so this is kind of my overall review. I think it's a good bike. I think it's a good price. Check out the links below if you want to buy it. We have a couple more bikes coming here in the future. Thank you, Aovo, for sending this over. Hopefully we can check out a couple more products from them coming up. Now, don't forget to check out our Whatnot stream coming up Saturday, April 20th. And if you like videos like this and you want to see other bikes, scooters, got some skateboards coming up, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.